Yo, what the fuck is going on? Today is November 13th. We're going to be going over penny stocks, pre-markets, and open markets. Today was a crazy ass day. We've been having a lot of momentum for today and yesterday. Monday was an exception because of Veterans Day. I think it was a lot slower because volume wasn't there, but past 2 days has been really fucking great. We're going to start with Agri, A-G-R-I. This thing ran way back when here on October 8th. So 11 cents is kind of our key target here. We have a gap level, all that stuff going on here. So we're looking at kind of where we're gapping up to. We're getting close to this area. If this thing kind of held around 6-7 cents here, we could have seen maybe a push, but anything like this that's kind of backside that hasn't made it back to kind of previous highs tends to fail, just like Agri did. So moving on, after it starts to fade out, we kind of get rid of it. BTCS, this was a simp off of BTCT for Bitcoin. I didn't touch BTCS just because simp plays and all that tend to kind of suck ass. They've been sucking ass for, I don't know, 2 years now. I can't remember a time outside of maybe DJT and Fun, PHUN, a couple years back. But yeah, things really haven't gone berserk as far as simps go. So yesterday it did run. So this is technically a day 2, but it's a simp off of Bitcoin. So it's going to run differently than previous day 1 moves that have a day 2 that tend to fail. So it's always good to keep these things up on the screen just in case. So 440 was yesterday's highs. That's kind of the pivot level we're looking for. She did start to run before open, but that's because BTCT was also popping off. BTCT went from 9 to 23 in pre-market. Fucking crazy. So it was high up on there. We do run into 440 right off the rip. And BTCT was halted right out of the rip. So, you know, trying to play this and look at BTCT just seems like a headache to me. These two can't really talk individually. They both kind of run off each other. But BTCT also halted down after open, I think. So 935, it halted down. So in my eyes, I was just kind of staying away. I figured BTCT would kind of fade off, which it did today, and I did not expect a secondary move out of BTCS, but this did put in a nice kind of double bottom flag here, kind of like an ascending support. I was thinking about it here, but again, being a simp play and having BTCT running down, I didn't want to really touch it. But this was a nice push here from 369 to 540. That was a fucking hell of a move. I mean, we're getting what, over 50% on that if my math is right there. But nice move. We have a pivotal level here at 540. Let's bring that up just so we can look at it. It's fucking way gone. Let's see if we can find it real quick. 550. Yeah, so we have a lot of kind of support here, or not resistance, but a lot of stuff kind of settling near this area, so that's why we have 540 as a pivotal level. Came there and then kind of died out. If it did break this, we had gap levels here. It can get nutty towards $8, but did not get there. All right, moving on to BTCT. We already kind of talked about it. It ran pre-market 17.19 previous day high. To me, this is already the move. If this opened kind of flat, I could see it moving here in midday, but because it already ran pre-market, I was kind of stayed away from it. But this was a nice 1.9 EMA wave in pre-markets. Halts immediately, halt down immediately. We don't get to settle until pretty much over 1720. And then it didn't really do, I mean, anything. I guess you could scalp some of this. You know, right here would have been a good come down, kind of like an inverse head and shoulders here. But other than this, it was pretty choppy the whole day and kind of high price, so kind of stayed away. So we'll see, continue to monitor that and see if it runs tomorrow, this week, I'm sure things could heat up still and that could go again. Cero, C-E-R-O. This was another one that kind of like a multi-day recycle name like Foxo. It tried to run a day 2 move, but just like BTCT, runs right into open yesterday and then fades off. So this is kind of like a day 3 move, and it didn't do anything. So again, staying away from recycled names tends to be the best bet. ENSC, another one that is a kind of a backside play. So let's look at it. It ran on November 7th, so last week. So that was kind of the highs. It's been flirting with that. Again, if this stayed, I mean, this could have had a chance, but just no volume really picked up at all. Stayed under VWAP and then kind of died out. So, yeah, nothing really there. Foxo, getting tired of fucking Foxo. I think BTCT stole the thunder. Foxo got kind of cooked here. Kind of a day 2. Yeah, just kind of faded off a cliff. Faded under the previous highs and then, yeah, died out. GNPX. This ran yesterday. No volume. I didn't really pay attention to it. Genius also ran yesterday. Bang, Bang, and pre-market also ran 182. When we have things that run day 1 and then they run in pre-market, it's just, we don't see secondary or third moves in open market the next day. So all we get out of Genius is kind of this mini pop here and then just died out. So Sigma Kappa here, K-A-P-A. I'm not even sure what the fuck this stock is. Weird ass pre-market. If this thing caught volume, I maybe look at it, but I wasn't really paying attention to this. Kind of faded under VWAP, so I wasn't really paying attention to it. Kixin. Kixin was one of the money makers today. There were a couple. Holy shit, where am I? Okay. I'm pretty sure Kixin news-wise regained compliance with NASDAQ. I don't think Kixin's related to Bitcoin at all. However, yesterday, BTCT was in this $3 to $5 range. We saw pennies, things under $1 be a little bit stagnant Monday and Tuesday. So I was eyeing up Kixin. It was a day 1 runner to kind of move similarly to BTCT, which it pretty much did. So we have this initial pop over VWAP. And something to note too is quick morning dips. You know, the first 1, 2, 3 minutes of the open. The intraday 200 EMA has been a pretty good bounce spot. So I did take some down here, sold some through 530, 540s. It came all the way back down. It settled down here again. And this is where we also took some down. Like I took some here for like a secondary U pattern push back through. We do get a push, but it instant rejects. And I figured this would die and just not move like BTCT, but then we held here again. So we're kind of holding the same pivotal area. To me, this is kind of like a fake kill candle where it continues to hold. We have major support here. We kind of come back up. This like little candle right here is a big giveaway as far as holding. And as soon as we start to push, this is kind of like a breakout trade here, right here through VWAP. And yeah, it goes fucking sky high. Quick 1 minute dip down to the previous highs here. Runs through this gap level and then ends up fading down. The only thing this didn't copy with BTCT is BTCT ran here. I think we had a few halts. This thing didn't halt, but I was expecting another push possibly. Kind of like a second or third leg. But this thing actually fucking died out, unfortunately. I thought maybe here, you know, dip to the previous high again, kind of hold this level and re-push. So if we look at what BTCT did, Very similar. Push down to the 200. We pop back up. We kind of reject. We're kind of consolidate. Now this thing didn't consolidate up here, but similar vibes. Consolidation. We have these mini candles down here that we're still holding key levels. We start to push, and then we break through VWAP and just explode. Very similar to what Kixon did today. So this thing pushed way up here. So this thing put it in a secondary move. So I was hoping with Kixon, it could kind of hold the previous highs where it came from. So hold this, you know, this 550 level. And this was also a daily pivot level, but never got the rotation. After this rotated, it kind of just died out and died under VWAP. So unfortunate that it didn't rotate again, but this was a nice push right there. All right, moving on. MSOS. I'm not going to really review that. That was like an end-of-day push. Mullen was also a recycle name, ran yesterday. Again, day one push into pre-market, and death. So, not really going to review it too much. Let's turn this down a little bit. Fuck. MVST. A nice penny name, day one mover, running into the daily 200. And something I said earlier is Monday and Tuesday, penny stocks, things under $1 have kind of faded off a little bit, haven't been as strong. So I wasn't expecting this to make a huge run today. But this was a nice pop here. We have a dip to the 200, to intraday 200. We have this U pattern. It breaks through pre-market highs at 54, a strong volume. Now usually here, what we've seen is a push straight up and then just tank all the way back down. What we did see is we did see a hold here at pre-market highs at 54, which was nice to see. We see some slow consolidation. We kind of have this fake kill candle right here. We hold again, and then we push back through. So this is like, for as long as I've been trading, these kind of fake kill candles that hold tend to be super bullish in most markets. Sometimes they don't work, but it pushes, it fakes out, it holds, and then it re-pushes. So if you know, going into tomorrow and Friday, if we start seeing more stuff like this, I'm going to be slapping it harder as shit. But after this nice clean flag, we push out, we do a 1.9 EMA wave, we do another little mini flag here, another little double bottom mini flag here. We push through this gap level. I think the gap level is from, is it 64 to 87? Yeah, so this is a huge gap fill right here. It continues to push, it halts at 105. And then after the halt, it just kind of dies out and then goes flat for the rest of the day. So again, this is a huge fucking move. Nice push, hold, and then just breaks through the gap level. So that's awesome to see as well. I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to blow through this real quick. NMHI, previous runner, was fading into open. Something like this, if you cut it from here, if you told me, is this thing going to run or not, I would say this thing is fucking toasted. To me, it's so far into the day, we haven't seen something like this run in a while. We get this massive U pattern, breakthrough VWAP, and then just runs back up to 18 cents, which is nice to see. We have pre-market highs here at 16. Comes down to this pivotal level. You rebreak kind of like in this wedge right here. But again, we're getting this consolidation, dip down, kind of this double bottom flag here, and then rip back through. 1.9 EMA wave up here. We get another flag, dip to previous high, super nice, kind of double bottom flag here, push again, double top, and then death. And yeah, that died out as well. QUBT, I'm not gonna have time to fucking review this. Holy shit, I can't talk. This thing was also super nice, low volume though through here, and then just rode the 1.9 EMA up to heaven. So hopefully this bullshit continues. It's been awesome. Let's keep fucking grinding.